Good morning, everyone. I am Professor Amit Jadhav. Today, we are going to see some important properties that we generally use in a CSS. Before that, just review the last lecture. In last lecture, we have seen how to define a CSS. What are the different types of CSS? Inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS with their example. Today, we are going to see some common properties that we apply for the text, then list, font, border, and after that, mm, we are going to see the different selectors that we use in a CSS. So, ID selector and class selector, universal selector, and grouping selector with their example. Okay, so here we are. So, some common properties, style properties for the text. For text, there are number of properties are available that we use and make our text designing attractive to the user. So these the properties are color. Color is used to set the color to the text. So whenever we want to set any color, we can specify it as a RGB or a hexadecimal keywords. So we can set it in a hexadecimal format or RGB, where we can directly specify the color name. Next one is the line height. It says the distance between the the lines. So we can specify it in a pixel or in a number or in percentage. So whatever distance we want, suppose this in these two lines, I want to set some distance particular, then I use line height property. Letter spacing, it will give some space between the letters. Text align property. Text align property used to align the text left, right, center, justify. Text decoration, we use none, underline, overline, line through. So these are the decoration. And text transform, if we want to use the capital, uppercase, lowercase, these are the text form. Let's see one example of text property so that you can clear the concept. So here I open the notepad. I start the coding with HTML tag. I write here title, text properties in CSS. I close the title tag, close the head tag, start with the body tag. Okay. Before that, we have to save the program on desktop. Save itself, text underscore CSS dot HTML. Yes, and click on save. Here we start with the body tag. I write p tag to use paragraph. This is my first para or paragraph. I close the p tag. I use some style proper text properties here. Let's see what are they. So these are color, line height. So I specify the color. I write here style tag and I use inline CSS as I want to use only one p tag here. So instead of writing it in head tag or create an external CSS, I use inline CSS. So color black, black is already there. Yeah, blue. Then line height, like letter spacing. These are not applicable now, line height and line spacing, because we write only single line. text align. Okay, I align this text at center and text decoration underline. So I write here text decoration and underline. Okay, I think this it's enough for us. And after that, I close the body tag and close the HTML. This is a simple example of text CSS. Let's see how it's work. So it comes at the center with blue color and underline that we apply here. Okay, so these are the text properties that we apply to this paragraph text and make this text attractive. So next is list properties. List we generally, whenever we want to display the items with their numbers or a specific symbol, we use list. We have already discussed the list tag with their properties. Now we are going to apply some style properties to it. So list style, it will set all the properties. Here we can use type, position, its image or image and inherit. Then image, here we can use image instead of some special characters like square, circle, with or number. We use special images for the list items. Position, we can set its position inside, outside. List style type, here we specify this circle, square or the number. Okay, these both are repeated. Let's see the list example. So I go here, I copy this code and paste it. Save with list underscore style one dot html. Dot html is important. So instead of text, I write here list. In body type, I use an order list. In li, I write here t, and here I write coffee. I write it cold drink. And I close the body type. I want to apply style here. So instead of writing your okay, style is equal to double quote, we use list style dash type square. Let's see the output. Yes, here it is. I run the program and it comes with the square. If I want to change, I just change its type. Suppose I want it in a circle form. It will come in circle. Suppose if I want to increase here font, then I use font property here and write here 20 pixel. So it will increase its font. And if I want to use number, specify here one, it will not comes because we use LIUL here. So if it is LI, it will comes 1, 2, 3. So this is the list property. Generally we use type here. We can set its position also. So list property for it, list style position. Inside, and it will come, it gives some distance from here. If I write outside, it will comes its original position. Yes, here it is. So if I want to show here some list, and inside that these items are, then I use inside or outside. Let's see how it is. So if I write here H1, please place your order, and I close here H1 tag. So here is an output. So it comes below exact. It's, if you want to keep some distance, I write inside here. So it will give some distance here. So this is nothing but the list property that we can use. If we have image, we can use the list style image and specify the URL. Okay, but currently we don't have it. So let's move forward. So the font property, I think we are mostly discuss this. So let's see font. Here we can set the font style, font weight, font size, then caption, icon, menu. These property we can say apply to the font property. Font family, here we specify the font name. Whatever the fonts are available in our Microsoft Office, that we can apply to the font family. Font size, specify the font size in a number, that is in pixel, or use this values x large, double x large, or you can specify the percentages. Font style, normal, italic, oblique, or inherit. Font variant, so specify whether or not a text should be displayed in small caps. So here we can specify small, capital. And font variant, sorry, font weight, it's also specify the font weight, that is it makes bold, bolder, lighter, like that. So let's see, copy this part, save, font dot. So font properties, so remove this code, and I simply use p tag, so I can easily apply properties to it. So I write here style tag, style is equal to font family monotype. So here some fonts are available, maybe format, yes. some font available here. So ink free. Let's see whether it is available or not. And I execute the program. Yeah, it's available. So after that, I use font size 20 pixel. Let's see how it's work. It's not applied to it. So what happened? Font size just right. What happened? Font dash family free. Font dash size. Font dash. Yeah, it applies to it. I think pixel. It will not take. It will not take space. I think. Yeah, it will not take. It does not allow space. So better to write here or just simply write 40. Okay. So these are some important properties. Font style. Italic font variant. Okay. So these are some common style properties for font. Border. Border is used to set the border to the text, to the image. So let's see one example. I just give here border. Border. Solid. Then pixel 2 and its color black. Blue. Let's see what happened to the text. Border. What are the properties? Yeah. Border set all the properties. Width. First is width, then border style, and then border color. So here we must first write size and then solid. First width, border style, border color. Okay, it's not working. Border width. Yeah, we must write the pixel here. So border 2 pixel with solid style and it's the color. Border bottom. If we have to specify only at bottom, I change with bottom. It will come at bottom. If I want to set it up, just I write top. top or up. Yeah. If I want only for the left, I change its position with left. Let's see what happened. And same for the right. Yeah, come here at the end. So if we use image, right now we don't have an image, we can set border to image also. So these are some common style properties for border. I hope that you understand all these things. Our next point is CSS selector. So CSS selector, here in a before we use to apply the style to HTML element, but here are some different ways that we can use to apply the style properties. First one is the ID selector, second one is the class selector, third one is the, I think, group selector and universal selector. These four types are of CSS selector. So first, we are going to see ID selector. In ID, every HTML element have a unique ID that we can specify with ID attribute, and its character is hash, hash character for it. For example, if I set ID is equal to para1, so I can write in a property, in a style, hash para1 text align center and color is equal to red. So let's see first ID example for CSS. Here again I open Notepad. In that, here we start with the HTML head, and I write here title CSS ID selector. So I use p tag as usual, and this is an example for ID selector, and I close the p tag. Here we have to use ID. ID is equal to, suppose I specify with para1. I save the program with ID underscore selector dot cs, oh sorry, dot html. In head tag, I start with the style. I close the style tag. Type is equal to text slash css. Here for ID we use hash. So I write here hash para1, and I apply some properties to it. So font family times new Roman, font size 20 pixel, and color again red. So let's run the program. ID selector So it's applied to the paragraph. I will use here text, align, center. So it will come at center with red color with font 20. I copy this, paste here. I change with para 2, font family, free ink, font size 16 pixel, blue, and here I change with left. Oh, I copy this line, okay, and paste it. Change with para 1 to para 2. Okay. Same content I paste here. It will come here. Okay. So this is the ID that we specify to HTML element, the paragraph, and we apply the style. Okay. Same example we are going to see in our next CSS class selector. So instead of ID, we can use class also. The major difference between ID and class is in ID we use hash symbol, in class we use dot symbol. Nothing difference in that. So again, go to example. Here instead of ID, I write class here and type text slash CSS. Okay, best copy this code. Control paste. Now I do the modification. So my program gets saved. Class selector, hash para. Instead of hash, I use dot. Again here I use dot. I think ink free, not free ink. Here we save with class underscore css dot html. Here instead of id we use class. Here again we use class. Para 1 and para 2 dot is even. Let's see the output. Again go to the desktop and this is. So here we get an output. Okay, this is an example for. So here we use class selector. Its syntax is like this. Next one is the universal selector. In universal selector, we apply star. So it will apply for all. So let's see an example. Control A, Control C, Control N, Control V. So instead of writing all this, I use only star. So it will apply to all HTML elements. Here I use H3, close with H3. Save, select all CSS, dot html. So let's see its output. So these style properties apply to all. Here I use h3, it will apply to h3 also, and also because I use star here. So whatever the HTML tag we use here, it will apply to it. So if we use table, tr and td, 1, okay, I close the td and tr and table. Let's see what happened. It comes to the left. This property is not apply because it applicable for the only particular elements, like this paragraph h3 are used for the used to accept the text. Table is the different one, so it will not applicable for it. If we use div instead of it, then also it will not applicable for it. It just used for this one. Okay. Next group, we can apply whatever the HTML elements. If we want to apply to all these elements, h1, h2, and p, the same properties, then we can make its group. So here it will apply for h1, h2, and p tag also. Let's see how it is. So here instead of this, I use p and h3. In last example, if I use td, let's see whether it is applied to it or not. Table, tr, td, 1, td tag close, and tr tag close. Finally close the table. Let's see the output. So it will apply to h3 and td, comma is necessary here. So it will apply to blue. It will not apply to table. Okay. So this is the grouping selector. This is the summary for it. If we want to use class, then in style property we use dot. If we want ID selector, then hash, like this. If I want to use select all element, then star. If I want to select all a element, then I use a. So it will apply where I use a style property to the anchor, and here the group selector, it will apply to div and p. Okay, here we end with our CSS topic. If you have any doubt, then you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. Thank you for watching. Here we end our session.